who would ask so many questions after the class coming over to me. His hairstyle have changed a bit if I can compare the picture of those times, and he has tried to maintain himself, as far as physical health is concerned. I would appreciate it because the kind of demand and the kind of real life that is over there, that's what we see. So I will just start by asking you first, because the whole journey had been there and something is created on the surface outside. You were already a CA and you were a CFA,
Right.
so qualified CFA both ways. So what inspired you to first inspiration? What made you to prepare for civil services in spite of having such a glorious and such a well settled corporate? I would say you had
Hmm.
an edge. Today also, if you see and look back, you would see that you would have raised very high. That's what for sure. I'm very sure. So what made you think for the first time? Because these questions we couldn't discuss at a time when you were, directly
Hmm.
coming over and asking student. A student is asking me, sir, ये क्या है? ये क्यों हुआ और ये कब हुआ था और ये नहीं होगा अब क्या होगा? So
Hmm.
I would ask those questions which really demand attention, जिनका जीवन में मूल्य है और जिनको हमें, मेरे हिसाब से हमें हमेशा याद रखना चाहिए.
राइट. तो थैंक यू विकास जी. सबसे पहले सर, आपने इतना डिटेल्ड मेरा डिस्क्रिप्शन दिया. सो लेट्स कम टू द पॉइंट. So inspiration, I would say, very first time, if I when I heard about IAS, when I was in 10th class. So there is an IAS officer from Rajasthan cadre. His name is Mr. Naveen Jain, 2000 batch, 2000 cadre. That time I was in, I think, 10th class, and first time I saw his face in the newspaper, and I became very curious why his face in the newspaper. And then I came to know that he has become an IAS, and everybody's talking about him. I was
Narnaul,
not even
correct? Narnaul.
Nirvana,
Nirvana, sorry, Nirvana. Yes, correct.
Haryana,
Nirvana.
Nirvana. So I was not even aware, what IAS is basically. But
Correct.
I was, intrigued by the picture and, the aura around it. So, first I bought, I started using this Pratyogita Darpan magazine. I used it for 3 years. I used to, read the interviews and all that. I got to know what basically IAS is. Okay. I got this view, how to prepare, what options are there. I got to know each and everything at that time, basically. But that was just an inspiration initially, you can say. But you have to have a professional career. So I
Correct.
chose CA, and I become CA, and fortunately I got a very good job in Nestle.
Nestle.
Yeah, so it was a campus placement. It was a very good package. In 2009, even if I say, it was somewhere around 12 lakh rupees.
Very
So,
good.
so, so, but as you rightly say, most of us have, vision, and most of us have desire to achieve higher. But because of some trap, we don't take risks. So I was 23 and a half when I joined Nestle, and I worked there for 1.5 years, somewhere around 25. So I was around 25 when I left. So, when you enter into the private corporate world, you have a lot of idea, you have a view, I would say. You perceive something that, okay, I'm going to earn, there will be, I'll become a salary man, good salary, working in a corporate, wearing good clothes and everything. Suddenly from nothing, you become something. But I thought, I realized, it is a trap. If
Oh,
anybody who was working in Nestle at senior position, say 20 or 25 years, if you touch them, you would realize, their life is very hollow. And they always say, if I could have done this thing, so I would have been here. Okay. They always, because the corporate is nothing, just you are working 9 to 6, 7, and you are earning a good amount. Then you create a system where you are paying regular bills, EMI,
बिल्कुल
home,
बिल्कुल.
car, everything. You are stuck basically. So, one day I realized, and one of my boss was saying I could have become an IAS officer, and my vision was to study further. So I parallelly I did my 2 level of CFAs also. I
Amazing.
thought, at least I should continue my CFA, and I did my 2 level of CFA during Nestle only. So 1 level of CFA was pending. But then I realized, again I'll be in that same trap. I have to work in a corporate. So I thought, why not to go back to my original vision, which I once thought, to crack the civil service. Frankly, I was not aware much about civil services, except that, that, okay, if you become an IS, you become a collector. If you become an IPS, you become a SP. Nothing
सही।
nothing more than that,
बिल्कुल, आज भी
nothing.
यही है, आज भी यही है। वो बाकी कहानी आप बना दो कुछ भी
हाँ.
सेंसेशनल, तो बात वही है।
So I don't know. I don't think, except the people who come from the bureaucratic background, nobody knows actually what
करेक्ट।
people do after
बिकमिंग
clearing their UPSC,
राइट।
IAS, IPS, IRS, whatever they become.
राइट।
So I just wanted to make sure that I'm not in that category where I have to use if in my life कि भाई काश ये कर लिया होता. And I was unmarried. I thought if at 25 if you're not taking risk, it is not possible that I will be taking risk in 30. So there is no use of procrastinating things. क्या देखेंगे, एक साल बाद देखेंगे. जनरली पीपल डू दिस थिंग्स कि यार अब डिसीजन लेंगे,
जी
6 महीने और कर लेता हूँ. बट
जी।
इट्स अ ट्रैप. once you are stuck
करेक्ट।
because the opportunity cost is huge. If I calculate myself, so 12 lakh rupees into 2 years, the preparation I gave time is 24 lakh rupees. And the setback which you're receiving if you're again joining your corporate after 2 years, your salary will be almost half. So huge opportunity cost. It's like burning your entire career. But one thing I was sure that I will never regret in my life, that I could have done IS. Most of us think that I could have done. So I thought let me give a try. I was very sure that I will not give more than 2 attempts. I will not waste like
ओके।
4 years. I will give my 2 attempts. If I'm clearing it, then it's okay. If I'm not clearing it, then I will understand that okay, this was not my cup of tea. I'll get back to my job. So very very focused for the career thinking. So that thinking, forced me to resign from the job. My parents also opposed. Uh, Typically, middle class parents. My father works as a junior engineer in irrigation department,
जी
Haryana.
करेक्ट। यस।
So three, two sisters. So typical middle class mentality.
राइट।
You are settled now. Now you can get married. Why to take
क्यों
risk
रिस्क
and
ले
all
रहे
that?
हैं? हाँ।
So coming. But I felt that it is the time. If I'm not taking decision today, then there is no tomorrow basically. So I thought 25 is an apt age. The only issue is that you will have to come out of your comfort zone. You are entering into uncharted territory, but that's how things happen basically.
करेक्ट।
So I was very clear. And if you remember, I joined in October for the Vajiram batch. So time was very less. I was not even aware how will I do. I simply was thinking that okay, GS करना है, GS वाजीराम में कर लेंगे, parallelly पढ़ लेंगे. कॉमर्स एक मेरा ऑप्शनल था. आई थॉट सीए है तो कॉमर्स निकाल लेंगे. पब एट सिमिलर सा कॉमर्स जैसा होता है, थ्योरी है, आई विल डू दैट, नथिंग एल्स. कैसे होगा क्या होगा, आई वाज नॉट इवन अवेयर. आई नेवर, you won't believe, before joining Vajiram, I was not even aware what equator is, what is the solstice and all that. History तो आप भूल ही जाओ, मतलब, because you are in that background where you don't even remember what exactly is
नहीं, आई
happening with your
बिलीव
life.
यू, आई बिलीव यू, बिकॉज देयर आर सर्टेन ट्रेट्स
Yeah.
which are ingrained, which had been ingrained in you when you were 10th or 12th, and then your CA,
Mm.
CFA और जो
Yes.
नेस्टिक, वो जो
Mm.
skills हैं, those skills were actually amplifying now when you are preparing.
Mm.
I hope you
Yes.
will agree with me that it is
Yes.
about skills.
Mm.
Even like when even I won't say much. In fact, you would be able to better throw light on the fact
Mm.
that even
Mm.
in my
Mm.
classes also,
Mm.
it is
Mm.
not about teaching.
Yes.
Teaching is not teaching. Anybody can teach, and you can read on your own also. But the whole
Yes.
question is about what skill. It is about skill. So I
Yes.
always saw you as a skilled person,
Mm.
though I'm not saying that we had daily interactions. ऐसा नहीं था, you know it very
Mm.
well.
Mm.
You
Mm.
may be talking to me once in fortnight,
Yes.
and
Yes.
that too also coming in the staff room, and then taking out
Yes.
time and asking me. But I
Yes.
always found your questions were relevant.
Mm.
And then I will also put forward my frank opinion. How
Mm.
much people were,
Yes.
many people would be in, not even, they
Mm.
will be, talking bad or whatever you say, criticizing.
Mm.
The
Mm.
style, the style.
Mm.
It is a style.
Mm.
It is a
Mm.
style of a bureaucrat also. That
Right.
coming to those questions also. It is a style of bureaucrat. So what you choose,
Yes.
what you choose
Yes.
in life, it should not be a trap.
Right.
So one thing we can
Mm.
gracefully, and we can also thank God and the blessing of parents and everyone,
Mm.
that you were
Mm.
able to achieve the first milestone.
Yes.
That is very true.
Yes. So entering, once you make up your mind, I think then rest is your preparation, how you do it.
Correct.
So
One of
so
the-
I think once you have make up your mind, so you are a serious candidate. And
correct.
as you rightly said, it's about skills.
Yes.
Frankly, why I didn't feel burden
Hmm.
UPSC as a preparation as a burden, One was that because I did CA, and CA itself is a very
demanding.
tough course, very demanding. You have to study. The papers are similar like that. Every alternate day there is a paper. If you don't clear in one paper, you have to give entire group as an attempt, basically. So
Correct.
I think the discipline which I learned during my CA days, because you are going for articleship, similar to a job where you are not being paid well, and learning. So the discipline, I think, made me very confident from
Yes.
that point of
The
view, I would say.
the regress part.
Yes,
The
which
regress
I
part.
generally feel a student who directly coming from a college, or from from art background, or from who has no experience of practical life, generally they don't see that kind of discipline, rigorousness, basically the toughness, I would say. I'm not saying they are not capable, I'm saying they're equally capable, but
I agree.
difference in approach sometime. I was more practical, friend, you can say that.
I agree. Yes, I agree with that. And once you clear the exam, then one of my students, when she was, reading, and she was finding about more about you. So, Mansi, what did you read in the blog, that one blog that you wrote long back? So she just shared with me.
Okay.
Please, Mansi, you can go ahead, please.
There was one statement where Sir has stated that after you clear the exam and you are finally an IAS officer, so it feels like आप दुनिया के राजा हो. तो वो feeling कैसे sink in होती है, and how do we deal with that over a
Right.
longer time period
Yeah,
also?
that's where, yes, yes, I agree.
फ्रैंकली मानसी, वो फीलिंग ना 3 दिन तक तो आपको बिलीव ही नहीं होता, फ्रैंक. मतलब मैं जिस दिन रिजल्ट आया है, एंड आई क्लियर्ड इन फर्स्ट अटेम्प्ट, ठीक है.
Yes, I
सी,
told him.
आफ्टर योर रिजल्ट, first of all, you don't know whether you will clear or not. You simply do your part, and I was preparing for prelims, which was on 20th May. 5th May को या 4th May को हमारा रिजल्ट आया था, जहाँ तक मुझे याद है. So that PDF sheet, I think I have checked 1,000 times whether the result is correct or not. Okay, I could not sleep the entire night, but because you don't believe it that you have done it, you know. मतलब IAS क्रैक करना, और वो भी फर्स्ट रैंक में क्रैक करना, और IAS ही क्रैक करना, मतलब आई गॉट 55th रैंक. सो फ्रैंकली मुझे पूछोगे तो मुझे 3-4 दिन तक तो विश्वास ही नहीं हुआ था. यू फेल्ट लाइक यू आर इन अ ड्रीम. A lot of people are coming, you suddenly become a local celebrity, लोकल न्यूज चैनल कवर कर रहे हैं. मतलब 3 दिन तक हमारे घर पे लोग आते ही रहे, मतलब आते ही रहे, जिसको मैं जानता भी नहीं, जस्ट टू कॉन्ग्रेचुलेट, न्यूज स्प्रेड लाइक फायर, बिकॉज आई केम फ्रॉम a small place. Or you won't believe, in that year we became 2 IS from the same place, and he was my schoolmate also, Shaleen.
हाँ,
He Shaleen, he is in
शालीन
Haryana
भनोट.
cadre.
शालीन भनोट ना?
नहीं नहीं
नहीं.
नहीं, Dr.
Okay.
Shaleen, he got 85th rank. We are classmates actually.
Okay.
So clearing 2 IS from the same small place of 50,000, it's a big thing, I think. We all come from the small place. So वो जो feeling है ना, वो मुझे लगता है कि because if I take myself, I could have gone anywhere. I could not have cleared IAS. I could have been again into corporate, and my life would have been totally different. Totally different, I'm telling you. मतलब वो जो लेवल का पेन है, हो सकता है वो इतना ज्यादा होता. So to and when you prepare, so most of the time you get a negative feedback. Negative in the sense, your friends, your relatives, they all think, IAS तो नहीं निकलेगा भाई, ठीक है. सो व्हेन आई वाज प्रिपेयरिंग, मेरे फ्रेंड मेरे मुंह पे बोल के जाते थे. मतलब आई एम टेलिंग यू द ओरिजिनल थिंग. सम ऑफ अदर सीनियर्स फ्रॉम माय प्लेस, दे वर आल्सो प्रिपेयरिंग. उनका 4th अटेम्प्ट था, एंड वी वर टॉकिंग. वन सर, एक और लड़का जतिन गर्ग करके, ही वाज आल्सो प्रिपेयरिंग विद मी. ही बिकेम IRS नेक्स्ट ईयर. उसका उस साल प्रीलिम्स नहीं हुआ था. ही वाज आल्सो CA, ही इज आल्सो CA. सो ही एंड आई प्रिपेयर्ड, आई स्टार्टेड प्रिपरेशन टुगेदर. और हम खड़े थे खान मार्केट के सामने, हमारा सेंटर था प्रीलिम्स का. आई स्टिल रिमेम्बर, एंड दोज गाइज वर टेलिंग अस, लाइक वी वर जस्ट जोकिंग अराउंड, वी वर lightening ours, nothing too overconfident, that next year we are going to Labasna, so we should prepare for Bharat Darshan, what to buy, what not to buy. This is talk about prelims paper, बता रहा हूँ मैं आपको, शुरू भी नहीं हुआ था. And the guys who were attempting 4th attempts, and they were telling us कि बॉस, फर्स्ट अटेम्प्ट में पेपर क्या आएगा, तुमको यही समझ में नहीं आएगा, तुम क्लियर करने की तो भूल जाओगे, ठीक है. सो आई टोल्ड हिम कि बॉस, वी आर गोइंग टू लबासना, तू तेरा देख अगले साल. सो आई एम सेइंग दिस बिकॉज देयर इज अ लॉट ऑफ नेगेटिविटी, देयर इज अ सेल्फ डाउट्स. so many doubts कि my friends are talking on my face कि भाई नहीं होगा तो जीवन में क्या करूंगी, इसे मेरा जीवन है, नहीं भी बनूंगा तो I have to face, why he is worried.
हाँ बिल्कुल.
So that what I'm saying कि when you clear, जो आप बोल रहे हो ना feeling का, when you clear, so you feel you're rejuvenated, you feel you know you are blessed, you feel that you are when you know you vindicated your stand basically, है ना, कि आप कर सकते थे, आपके माइंड में था और आपने करके दिखाया. तो वो जो फीलिंग है ना, that makes you self proud वाली जो बात है. I'm not saying ego, but it makes you feel. And frankly getting into civil services है राजयोग. तो आपको लगता है कि भाई आपके जीवन में राजयोग लिखा था तो ही आप बने हो. ठीक है, मेरे से आई फील मेरे से ज्यादा टैलेंटेड लोग थे वहां पे. आई स्टिल रिमेम्बर अ गाय यूज्ड टू सिट विद इन वाजीराम सर, आपको मालूम होगा. ही वाज फ्रॉम IIT कानपुर. ही यूज्ड टू वर्क विद Schlumberger. He was on secondment 3 years. He was preparing from June. I don't, मतलब मेरे को क्लास में ऐसा कोई क्वेश्चन नहीं लगता था जो उसको नहीं आता था.
सही बात है.
मतलब the teacher were asking question and he was answering everything. I thought कि यार ये लड़का तो बनेगा ही बनेगा, मतलब
ये निकालेगा भाई.
मतलब और क्लास में कोई निकालेगा नहीं निकालेगा, but he will be the IAS officer. And you won't believe he didn't even clear his prelims.
I agree with you. That's what I've been, like thousands and lakhs of students today, I can say, the way I handle. And that's why later on I went on to, rather than making it a more commercialized machine, I went on to, now we, like the way now I just deal on one-to-one and also a very small and selected and relaxed way. It is very demanding and rigorous, but then skills are required. So once you got your cadre, service allocation was there. So when you got Maharashtra cadre, now come to that point. Now the people generally try to get, first of all, they want to become an IAS.
Right.
They want, I didn't get the home cadre. I got Northeast, I got South India, I got Maharashtra. So you being a very grounded and also very, जैसे कहना चाहिए हरियाणा की जो rustic जो हम कहते हैं हमारा है, जो मतलब भाई जो बात कहेंगे सामने कहेंगे, जो बात है सामने है. So obviously you got Maharashtra cadre. So how did you felt about it? Because आज भी generally every aspirant इतना जरूर जानता है that if I'm going to get another cadre, then I have to adjust myself, and then people now look for other kind of ways. You are in the services, you are a better judge, but then I have my own experience, that because I was also when I was with Mr. Vijay Goyal in Prime Minister's office, I had seen even before Vajiram, and then after that, now with my own long experience, I know how the things they generally do. People look for, they look for spouses in same kind of other kind of cadre where they want to move on. People look for other services also. People wait for 2 years also. And then people try to make a case study on those grounds. I have my students, junior to you. One my student, she was in West Bengal cadre IPS. Then later on, she married and she went on to Chhattisgarh cadre, and she is from Punjab. You won't believe me.
Right.
And then one is in your cadre only. One girl is in your cadre only. She got Karnataka cadre first. And she is obviously junior to you. She is an IAS officer only. So there are many examples like that. But then when I first saw you once, it was around COVID or beyond or around that, I don't know, because I have not, pursued that. You were just in my subconscious mind somewhere. And, these technologies and all that, somehow, that's how I got in touch with you through LinkedIn. But yes, once I tried to call you up when you were in Chandrapur, am I right? You were in Gadchiroli. So you were PA, maybe, so I called them up and I asked about you. Saab chutti pe. So then I said, okay, कल बात करा देंगे. देखता है, कल देखता है. मैंने कहा भाई,
that is the difficult job to pass through basically.
That's what I'm saying, ना. So तो पहली जब आपको पहला, when you got your first independent charge, first of all, तो why didn't you try to change? You had also option again to somehow manipulate. I wouldn't say manipulate, but then somehow to adjust. That how you can so how you adjusted yourself that Maharashtra cadre is fine, no problem.
Yes. So just like as you said, everybody first want to enter into their home cadre. Unfortunately, in my time, I think generally 55 rank is a very good rank to get your nearby cadres generally. Okay, but in my batch, unfortunately, or you can say fortunately, all people in top 50 mostly were from North India. The top ranker was from Haryana, Shena Agarwal. Second rank Rukmani was from Punjab. Third rank Prince Dhawan from Chandigarh.
Chandigarh, हाँ.
मतलब हरियाणा के ही उसमें 15-20 लोग थे.
बिल्कुल.
So and even Shena, who's from Haryana, she didn't get Haryana
हाँ,
because
वो
there
तो
was no
she was already into services ना, she was already into
she was
services.
IRS, but she didn't get Haryana because हरियाणा में जनरल का वैकेंसी नहीं था इनसाइडर का.
I agree.
ओके. So you know, so typical मुझे बोला गया था कि the first issue is first you don't know what service to enter. तो आधे लोग तो फॉर्म को गलती भरते हैं,
सही
उनको
बात.
ये नहीं बताने वाला कि फॉर्म में भरना क्या है.
हाँ.
And the second mistake most of the students do is कि cadre selection. ठीक है. मुझे somehow दुर्गा शक्ति नागपाल, who is 2010 batch IAS officer, I got in contact with her during my preparation. She helped me a lot. वो मेरी फ्रेंड की स्कूल में बैचमेट थी. तो उसने मुझे बोला कि यार देखो, हिंदी वाले हो तो फर्स्ट फिल हिंदी के कार्डर एंड देन गो डाउनवर्ड्स बिकॉज लर्निंग अ न्यू लैंग्वेज इज अ चैलेंज. तो वो मैंने भी वैसे ही किया. हरियाणा, पंजाब, आसपास के राजस्थान, हिमाचल प्रदेश भर दिया गलती से मैंने. एंड देन गुजरात एंड देन महाराष्ट्र. आई वाज नॉट विलिंग टू गो टू यूपी और बिहार. मुझे बिकॉज फॉर ए नॉर्थ इंडियन पर्टिकुलरली फ्रॉम हरियाणा साइड इट बिकम्स अ लिटिल बैरियर कि यार ईस्ट में जाना पड़ेगा. एंड देन अगेन साउथ वाले कार्डर जो थे वो मेरे लास्ट में थे एंड नॉर्थ ईस्ट वाज द लास्टेस्ट ऑब्वियसली. तो वो चीज है. आई वाज फॉर्चुनेट एंड आई गॉट महाराष्ट्र कार्डर. दैट वाज माय सिक्स्थ चॉइस आई वुड से. सो फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल, फर्स्ट टाइम तो आपको थोड़ा सा झटका लगता है यार, दैट आई एम गोइंग इनटू न्यू कार्डर. यू डोंट नो एनीथिंग, यू डोंट नो एनी लैंग्वेज एंड दैट इशू इज देयर. But yes, one good thing was that Maharashtra being a developed state, Maharashtra being, language भी उतना इशू नहीं है and it is a very rich state.
आप तो मराठी बोल भी लेते हैं, अब तो अच्छी मराठी बोलते हैं.
हाँ, तो वो आपको बोलना ही पड़ेगा लैंग्वेज, तो that is not an issue I think. So I think वो feeling कुछ लोगों के till life रहती है. Like the people from one of my batchmate got into Kerala cadre from Punjab. तो उसको वो adjust ही नहीं हो रहा है because it totally different culture. So definitely one thing is there that you have to understand where are you going. The life is going to be different because culture, language, everything has to be a different. Okay. But second thing, if you can't change, you should accept it कि भाई अब तो यही है और यही करना है जीवन में. ठीक है. So the more early your acceptance is, the better is. मतलब I also see lot of officers, my probationers were there who are from Tamil Nadu, they got into Maharashtra. अभी तक उनका वो तमिलनाडु नहीं जा रहा है. ठीक है.
Yes.
So definitely there is issue regarding cadres, and I didn't want to change because I didn't want to marry somebody who's from service. I thought it creates another issues to marry somebody from service. As you rightly said, it is very easy to change the cadre to get married and all that. That is there. Amazing. But I was not very sad. I was, in fact, when I joined Maharashtra, I became very happy. Initially, when I was SDM in Yavatmal, it's a farmer suicide district, you must have heard.
Yeah.
Very famous. इसके ऊपर books बड़ी लिखी हैं farmer suicide के ऊपर विदर्भा में. So that was a place where I initially for 20 months, I was also sad. I said myself, what decision have you taken in your life? Why are you in this service? You could have gone into IRS where you would have spent considerable time in cities, or I was better as a CA. I was, I was cribbing myself, frankly, कि I didn't take a right decision. What is an IAS? You're sitting in a village or some place, and nothing yours, and I thought it's all a sham illusion. But that's the initial years, because you're generally in India. If you're posted as a SDM, most of the towns are like that.
Like that, I agree.
They are not very high-fi places. Frankly, you go to Tamil Nadu if you're posted somewhere in rural area. If you go to Karnataka, you go to Punjab, Haryana say also.
Everywhere.
So not much difference basically.
India.
But हाँ, इंडिया है, वो उतना अभी तक परकोलेट नहीं हुआ है. बट देयर आर लकी पीपल, देयर नॉट लकी पीपल. 99% आर लाइक दैट. I can tell you from experience.
I agree with you. But then I would not divide it into lucky and unlucky. I would say that's the beauty. That's the beauty.
हाँ, मतलब that's the beauty. In fact, now you cherish those moments because otherwise you cannot work in those areas.
We will come to one question. You were with MMRDA. How many people in the world are with MMRDA? I would ask you. How many people in the world? The builders, the politicians, the kind of exposure, the kind of world-class view, the kind of challenges that one see. We'll come to it. So when you got the first charge as an independent district, तो कैसा आपको, how did you feel like cherished child की तरह होता है first district independent charge that you get?
डिस्ट्रिक्ट और आप फर्स्ट चार्ज पूछ रहे हैं एसडीएम का.
एसडीएम तो आपने बताया ना, यवतमाल you were talking.
Yes. So you are asking about district collector.
District collector, correct.
So district collector, frankly, is a very important role, plays a very important role still in India, though it's a colonial creation. But I would feel the administrative center is still the district collector. And there is a charm associated with district collector for various reasons. First, because you are head of the district, you are in limelight. And in my case, though I went to Gadchiroli and Gadchiroli in Maharashtra is taken as generally as a punishment district. Now, no more, frankly.
Agreed.
Because it's an only Naxalite district. But I was very happy because
Acha.
district Gadchiroli is a place, you won't believe there were almost 16 All India service officers were posted. 16 in a district called Gadchiroli. We were 5 IAS officers, 5
Wow.
IPS officers, and 6 IFS officers. And it's a very big district. And frankly, the kind of work you used to do in 30 years back, that work you still do in the Gadchiroli district. So the aura of service, if you can see, where you can, get a satisfaction by simply creating a small school, or by simply creating a small road, or by simply creating a small bridge, because the people are still that poor, and you cherish those. But if you ask me, the best posting of my life till date is the collective
Gadchiroli.
Because second, resources are huge, and you are the leader who is driving the district basically. So you can give a vision, and unfortunately or fortunately, you can say, I handled 2 COVID waves during that
I agree.
period.
Yes.
So that was an altogether different experience, because it was very emotional also. You see people are dying on a daily basis and still you can't help it. On the other side, you can see that you are creating an infrastructure which is, though you are creating a bigger things which are helping a large number of people also basically. So it's always the dilemma, and it's always a challenge. So you carry both kind of emotions. But I feel district collector is always a generally a good experience for everybody. It's very overwhelming. And the fund you handle, so I was handling almost 550 crore rupees of fund exclusively by me. Okay, so you drive people, you drive district. That gives a lot of satisfaction. Hello.
When you are talking about, when we are talking about COVID waves and the kind of emotional distress that was there.
Yes.
And one question arises here, that generally in corporate sector we say that fine, मैं तो switch कर लूंगा, मेरा package बढ़ेगा, मैं तो switch हो जाऊंगा. I'm getting another Monday, I'm getting opportunity, I may have evening 5-star hotel party, and then I may make connections and move on. Connections. And then it is very easy to decry that politicians don't do anything and bureaucracy don't do anything. It is a kind of जैसे कहते हैं cynical, there is a cynical attitude. So being a forward looking and being a a very proactive officer, you had seen from the very very near view that how actually challenges are there. So what do you say when we speak about the challenge of public perception? What we speak about, how bureaucracy can make, you are making so much hard work, there are so many senior to you, and also our highest government level honorable prime minister sir is also making so sincere efforts. So what 2 or 3 things would you say that which helps us to, perception is very important, a public servant must do that. For example, there is a portal for annual public assets declaration. There is a annual ITR आप normal file करो, फिर भी 50-65% करते हैं, उसके बाद नहीं होता या नहीं करते, whatever we say. So 2-3 चीज जो आपको बहुत satisfy करती हैं, which makes you really satisfied, and when you look back and you say that yes, I have done my bit. तो 2-3 चीज क्या होनी चाहिए या क्या करनी चाहिए?
So I think अभी तक तो हम सारा बढ़िया बात कर रहे थे, and looking those things only, most of the students are attracted to civil services.
Correct.
And but I would like to say that it's not all hunky dory. It's not always, there are a lot of challenges. Frankly, first, you are always under limelight. But our action, you say, because you are now a public figure in that area, okay, not at national level, but in that area. So you are constantly under watch. Second, there's a lot of unrest going in society because people wants to grow. Okay, people want to grow, and then and there's a lot of pressure on politicians also. And then that pressure converts to you also. So
I agree.
so if you are not fulfilling, if you're not delivering, then you are being sidelined. Okay, then you feel that you are not part of that system. So first of all, one should understand before entering into service, particularly in all India service, I would say. Central services are different. Central services are IARS and Indian Railway Traffic. They doesn't come into limelight. They sit in an office, and generally public dealing is very less. But for all India service, I would say you are constantly under watch. Reporters, there are a lot of reporters. They are, and when we enter into service, you don't know how to behave also. Labasna
Agree.
doesn't teach much, frankly. So you see most of the like recent case of Pooja Kedkar. She was in Pune
I
only.
agree.
Okay.
Yes, yes, yes. I agree.
So some gets this feeling, now I am something, and this is something belong to me, like jamidari system hota tha कि ये तो मेरा right है. But that
Entitlement
kind of
है.
but that kind of arrogance sometimes create problem for you. Okay.
Hmm.
Second, if you don't deliver, then it's a problem. Third, if you're very corrupt, then it is a problem. So these are the challenges. The fourth is political pressure. Political pressure because you have to deal with them in day-to-day life. Day-to-day life. And it is not a situation, where you are now my lord or babu. You can go free. Okay. Still, accountability is there. Judge accountability is there. And with advent of social media, I would say that poses another day. You see a lot of bureaucrats sitting on Twitter, doing work like posting everything they are doing, like nothing has happened before them, or they are so that kind of wrong picture also they send to the new generation, basically.
Correct.
So I would
Correct.
say these are the lot of challenges. But if you work, like I always, in PubEd there is a very good chapter regarding what kind of IAS should be, a bureaucrat should be. I would rate anonymity as one of the top features. The more anonymous, there's always a good say in bureaucracy that your work should be felt, it should not be seen. Okay. If you have done good work, people will realize. But if you are saying yourself that I have done this, and once you enter into system, or people, there are always people ki aap jaisa na aaya hai, na aap jaisa aayega. This is a common say you get to know, and you think that you are some godly figure, then creates a problem. If you keep your feet grounded, if you are humble, and you feel your purpose is much larger actually, because you are getting a lot of comfort, you are getting job stability, you are getting good staff, you are getting car, chauffeur driven car, houses, so most of your comforts are frankly being taken care of. And you have a good social status also. But despite that, if there are bureaucrats, I would say those who are not doing their work, they're not performing, and which creates a bigger problem for them. So I think when you are coming into service, you should realize that you are no more a common person. You are no more you are no more a simple guy who can simply walk in chappals into office. Your everything is being watched. How you behave, how you talk to your senior, how you talk to common public, and thinking that your behavior is not being talked about outside is a very, very misconception. People like to talk about you. बॉस कैसे आए हैं, कलेक्टर कैसे हैं, सीईओ साहब कैसे हैं, मैडम क्या करती है, क्या खाना पसंद करते हैं, किस टाइम जाते हैं, किस टाइम आते हैं, कैसी फाइलें साइन करते हैं, कैसे डिले करते हैं, so you are constantly under watch. So you will get satisfaction once you know that you are doing right thing in a right manner, basically. Okay. You are coming here for good purpose.
Can you share your one of the first experiences with the dealing with the public representatives, or you can say because you have been CEO Zilla Parishad also,
Yes.
and then there is a different structure actually in different states.
Yes.
When we talk about 3-tier system, every state is not. That is what the federal beauty of India. And Maharashtra is to financial. It is the financial bulwark of India. It has got amazing social aura. It has got amazing religious fervor. It has got what not. You speak about it, and Maharashtra got everything. That is why Maharashtra. It is Maharashtra, we call it Rashtra. So when you first dealt with one of the few experiences, maybe public representative must be coming in your first, or when you were at Yavatmal or even at Gadchiroli. So what kind of, sometime you must, what kind of challenge, I would say, you faced it in spite of your good intention. It is not possible that every time your intention must have been seen as a upright only, and everywhere you got without any obstacle. You had to prove yourself with work. You had to, you must had so many experiences where you had to stand by your own, and at time you have to be very patient to, to come the right time, that whatever I'm trying to convey or whatever I'm doing, I'm saying and doing the right thing, to not I'm saying to be in the good books, but I'm saying to do the right thing, it takes time. So a lot of, lot of patience is required. Lot of people will say so many things around, and how to, first of all, first point is that how to handle it, and secondly, why not go with the flow? You did not go with the flow. So what made you, always go with the right thing, and being saying and doing that let's keep it simple, let's keep it to the point, and let's keep it what is better for society. What like these 2 points, how would you convey?
So I would say that, just like any other job, in this job also, when you enter, you are not mature. Mature in the sense you do not know all the spectrum of, of things, how they are happening. So one of the biggest mistake people do is to fight with the public representatives. People, as a bureaucrat, you feel that, it is your job and you will decide how it should be done. And initially, I think there is nothing wrong also. When so my first encounter, in fact, I when I went to SDM, so assembly elections were happening. So I in fact conducted assembly elections. So people want, to be seen as honest and seen as to be unbiased. And frankly, if you're coming from outside, you're unbiased only. But the same MLA which was elected, and when you see, they are telling you to please, there was a recruitment drive going on, and he was calling me, you please select this guy, and you know that this cannot happen. This cannot happen. You know that. And but see, the problem is that you don't know how to deal with that person. Okay.
Correct.
So there comes the role of some senior, or under whom you have been trained. That kind of nature you develop. But I would say, you have to always remember that they are public representative, and they cannot force you to a large extent. Whatever right is, you should do, but you should be you should convey those
Mindful.
things in a humble manner. Basically, sir, this cannot be done, or see, I have restrictions. Basically, this will. So problem is that initially you don't understand, and you feel that he's acting against you, and then your ego gets hurt, and then they start the problems basically. So I think that is an challenge when you. So I also faced that challenge initially. I was not aware how to deal with the public representatives, but I would say they have their restrictions because they are public representatives. So public is after them, but it takes time. Frankly, I would say it takes time to understand that thing, and you become mature as you grow into service. And nowadays, politicians are doing a lot of bad things, frankly. But I would say you should not. There are bureaucrats who are acting just like as servants to them. I would say whatever they are saying, they are doing. They are hand in gloves also. There's no doubt in that. But it is your conscious decision, basically, where you want to do. I personally feel that I should sleep happily. Even if I'm not getting big posting, but I should sleep happily. And wherever you work in the area, you can work everywhere. They may put you in social
So
welfare. They may put.
your posting thing reminds me, you were also Commissioner of Soil and Water Conservation,
Yes, that
focusing
was a
on
sideline posting, frankly. I was being sidelined from CO. I should have become collector. But there I learned a lot of things because Maharashtra is one state which started the watershed development work. Frankly, I enjoyed that area, and I was getting a lot of health issues during my Jilla Parishad work because there is a lot of issues, lot of pressures constantly. So in fact, I enjoyed those 2 years. I was very happy. I could work on gymming. I was playing sports. I had time for kids. So life is never going to be same. There will be ups and downs, definitely. But you should know how to use them rather than cribbing, or rather than, because things are not in your hand. There's a 35-year, 33-year, 30 years of odd, long tenure. So there will be 10 years of a very good service. The 10 years will be average service. 10 years will be poor service. It can't be like you are always in limelight. Politicians don't remain limelight for forever. So I think if you understand that thing, I think then it become easy for you.
So, but then, as we just discussed beforehand, do you really think that bureaucrats anonymity is one of the best features?
I
Anonymity,
feel so.
your
I feel so.
work will speak. So limelight में है, लेकिन वो I don't think in the longer run it pays. in the longer run. But then the point is that जब आप 10 मिनट में डिलीवरी चाहते हैं तो फिर आप कैसे बात करें? What this brings me to the question that the perks and the privileges, the real perks and privileges is that you are changing the society. You are a change instrument for society, whether it is visible after you have been posted or whether you have not been there even from last 5 years. But then how one should see this, not this is more than a job, this is like a job, but this is more than a job also. But how one should see when living in a metro, living a very comfortable life of all बड़े बड़े मॉल हैं, big malls are there, big shopping complexes are there, the children and family go to big multiplexes. ये तो नहीं है, मतलब जो असली भारत है उसमें अभी भी नहीं है, उसका एक क्रेज है, उसका एक एस्पिरेशन है. So being a seasoned and being a senior officer now, so how do you see, like, it is not, I don't believe it is a loss, frankly speaking, though I'm not into services, but I don't see it as a loss. But then how do we see this, जो कॉमन मैन को, जो एक बड़ा सोसाइटी में जो बड़े, वैसे भी एज यू जस्ट सेड दैट आफ्टर बीइंग इनटू सर्विसेज, इट इज नॉट दैट जो मन में कि आप वही कर रहे हो, आपके ऑनेस्ट इंटेंशंस को भी गलती ले लिया जा सकता है. काइंड ऑफ टॉलरेंस यू अडेप्ट, काइंड ऑफ टॉलरेंस, काइंड ऑफ मैनेजमेंट. तो वो मतलब कि वो कैसे आएगा, वो कैसे आता है, हम अगर चाहते हैं उसको?
I think that comes with experience only.
That comes with
experience. As you grow, you get some setbacks also. You get good. If you do self introspection, where I was wrong or where I was not wrong, then you can become mature. Basically, that is the only way where nobody is going to tell you. Senior may tell you कि you are wrong on those parts, or you can see from others why some bureaucrats are successful and why some are failed. Okay, so you should not be in that journey also where you are considered as a failed bureaucrat. So you're learning from others and doing your self introspection. I think most of bureaucrats understand after 8 to 10 years how to design their future. Those who don't understand, they remain like throughout their career remain like that way.
I agree with that. And then you are also managing director of the Tribal Development Corporation. जितना हम बात करते हैं, ट्राइफेड की बात करते हैं, जब हम दिल्ली में इसका ऑफिस की, हम ट्राइबल का लिखते भी आंसर्स में, these people also talk about. Then can you please in very brief, can you just share, ये बहुत important है मेरे हिसाब से, ट्राइबल डेवलपमेंट कॉर्पोरेशन, marginalized communities को हम बोलते हैं, but how it is, how was your experience and what you did?
See, I worked in Gadchiroli also, which was 100% tribal district. So whatever acts you study during UPSC, you actually implement, like PESA, FERA. You become very expert in those areas. And frankly, still I would believe these are really marginalized community, particularly in Maharashtra, the real tribe, even PVTGs, I would say, they are not getting the real benefits. And I'm giving you one example where during my this water conservation stint, we started a recruitment drive of hiring engineers, permanent engineers, junior engineers. There are around 20 vacancies, and the cutoff mark for those 20 vacancies was 45%. You clear that exam, and then based on that, whoever got the highest marks, you will get selected. So out of 280 vacancies, I think tribal was one area where we could not fill even all the vacancies. That is the lack of skills or lack of education, we would say. We are not getting 20 students, 20 people who can score 45% marks just to get a job. You just clear 45%. So in tribal area, you will see the actual benefit is being used by some other communities which have entered in this ST category. I would not like to comment, but that is the reality. So real tribal, if you see, or real marginalized societies still a reality in India. If you go
so in spite of knowing so much ground reality, then how do you motivate yourself that okay, fine, this is the real thing I know, and one of the important change maker hai. But then how do you motivate yourself to leave that and move on to the next?
But say where motivation, so wherever you're working, there I think that gives you a larger motivation. When you're working in these posts now, you realize, okay, if I can work even 10% for these communities, this will be a big blessing. Okay,
a big blessing.
Like there were a lot of groups, frankly, but this you realize when you actually do the work. Okay, so there was we had some fund where we used to provide fund to these groups of tribal people, basically, who can start some business. and that was entirely discretionary. They used to submit us the plan, and we used to fund them some 40 lakh, 50 lakh, so that they can start some trading business or some some floor meals or anything, whatever they want to start. So in Nashik, there was a farmer who was after me. Sir, you just trust me and I will do it, basically. So it was a risk, but I felt, the person is good and he may do it. And you won't believe, I just sanctioned 40 lakh rupees for this group. And really, he invited me to his village where he organized that small program where you can really see, how your small intention can change that, those 20, 25, 30 families which are working. So, you just need to give a good support to the right people. I think that is the right motivation. Out of 100 decisions, maybe 5 may be wrong decision. I may have given benefit to wrong people also, but that should not deter you from, taking the right intention to provide to the 95. I think that is a big motivation. And we know that this problem is not going to solve very soon, but in your tenure, you should work with the right intention. That is the real motivation. If you're working for the people in your entire career, you touch a lot of people, like you do recruitment with good intention. You feel if you are in this service, so if you can provide job with the right intention to the right candidate, he will change at least 10, 15 families of his or some other people. So wherever you go, there are good opportunities where you can work, I would say. And that gives you motivation to work.
So when as a even district collector and even later on district collector, let's first say you must be having monthly meetings. There will be you coming to the Mantralaya, and there must be monthly meetings. There is a stock taking kind of thing like the way Prime Minister do, and same thing replicate at the at the smaller level, I should say at the federal level also. So do you really think that this is the now virtual meetings are also there, like the way we are also virtually connected? So this digitization and the kind of fluency that has come up into bureaucracy also. So this is really helping to really make India change. That's what we speak about, that developed India by 2047 that we speak about, and we are all committed. Everyone is the right with right inclination and right intention. Those who believe, they are working towards it. So do you think that bureaucracy is adequately moving towards reforms in that sense, the working and the perceptions?
See, there is a perception about bureaucracy that it's a status quo. It doesn't do it itself. But if you go 20 years back, say I got my mobile in 2024 or 2004 when I was doing my CA. Okay. Now, if I see myself after 20 years, is it possible that I remain unconnected with the mobile phone, with the bureaucracy? There's no option. So I'm saying it is not the choice of bureaucracy, basically. It is the world which is changing. So if you see next,
world is changing.
It's a system. You can't help it. Now, all your messages are on earlier 30, 40 years back. There used to be a messenger who used to deliver your dark. Nowadays, you get your instant dark on your WhatsApp. All your administration is being run on WhatsApp. Got it? So I'm saying there is no option for any person, I would say. Leave it bureaucracy for private sector or any sector. Now, your transaction, 2 rupees, 5 rupees transaction are happening on UPI. Now, even if you want to pay cash, you will feel he doesn't have cash. Okay, he doesn't have छुट्टा चिल्लर नहीं है उसके पास. वो आप जाए किसी चाय वाले के पास उसको बोले तो बोलेगा सर 12 रुपए की चाय आप मेरे को यूपीआई कर दीजिए.
सही बात.
You don't have an option, basically. I am saying the world is moving. You have to align. Otherwise, there is no option. You will die. So this technology is definitely it's creating tremendous changes. And if I see after 10, 20 years, most of paperwork will be over. I think most of this with the AI, most of your regular work will be over. Then there will be no need of personal assistant and all routine jobs, basically. So you have to align. There is no option, and bureaucracy is moving in that direction. You can say because of pressure, because of force, or because of requirement. People want everything on their online. They don't want to come to Sarkari office and then file paper and then get their file approved. Everything is now online. You fill it, you approve it, you download it, and you are at home. So I think that there is no option for that.
You have been part of MMRDA also.
PMRDA.
This is one of the
PMRDA.
PMRDA, correct.
Yes.
Now you are part of PMRDA.
Yes.
So
yes.
when we speak about urban development, UPSC तो क्वेश्चन पूछता है, वो बड़ा कॉम्प्लेक्स सा क्वेश्चन होता है. एंड वो वैसा क्वेश्चन है कि जिस पे 2 घंटे भी बात की जा सकती है. वो ऐसा अजीब सा क्वेश्चन बनाता है वो. तो I keep on telling my students also now, since as I just said in the beginning that I am dealing them in a holistic way. because I also I found by the time you were there as my student, after that 1 or 2 years after that, down the line, I could find that repeating the same class for lifetime is not possible. And then
No.
that too also, you are increasing the batches, and then you will
Yes.
say आप 4 क्लास ले लो, उसको 100 बार रिपीट कर दो, मैं आपको 50 लाख रुपए दे दूंगा।
सही
मैंने कहा
बात है।
ये कोई जिंदगी नहीं है यार, ये क्या हो रहा है, ये तो कोई जिंदगी नहीं है भाई। ये क्या हुआ, ये लास्ट में आ जाएगा आप 4 क्लास ले लो और आप जो है पूरी जिंदगी उसको चला लो। तो दैट आई लेफ्ट दैट माइंडसेट। वही जैसे अभी हमने बात की, उसका मिरर रिफ्लेक्शन है कि रिग्रेट नहीं करना है और ट्रैप में नहीं फंसना है। सो माई क्वेश्चन इज दैट हम बड़ी बड़ी बात करते हैं, पुणे तो वेरी वेरी हैपनिंग सिटी, एंड
यस,
अभी आपका रिवर, वो जो मुथा रिवर है, उसकी
यस,
बात हुई
मुलामुठा
थी।
रिवर,
फिर
हाँ।
आपका जो वहां पर एक जो ये फर्स्ट इंडिया की प्राइवेट से पूरा सिटी था वो खत्म, जो सहारा ने लिया था,
सहारा,
दैट
सहारा सिटी, एमबी वैली।
एम्बी वैली है। फिर पुणे तो वैसे भी एवर ग्रोइंग, एंड देन दैट केस वाज देयर, इफ यू टॉक
यस,
अबाउट लॉ एंड ऑर्डर,
यस,
दैट दैट केस ऑफ
पोर्श,
ड्रंक, हाँ, पोर्शे वाला
ड्रंकन
केस भी था,
ड्राइवर, यस।
ड्रंकन ड्राइवर केस था। तो पुणे तो वेरी हैपनिंग, पुणे में गोखले इंस्टीट्यूट है, पुणे में क्या
यस।
नहीं है। पुणे इज ए लैंडमार्क इंस्टीट्यूशन, अपना अगरकर, सावरकर एंड तिलक साहब, सब तो
यस,
ग्रेट
यस,
है, ग्रेट ग्रेट कल्चर, शनिवार पेट, पेशवाज एंड ऑल दैट।
यस, राइट।
पॉइंट, my question is that urban flooding, hyper local rainfall, urban flooding, hyper local rainfall, excessive temperature, और जी मतलब concretization.
यस,
There is a guardian minister also for each city. We speak about guardian
यस,
minister, speak
यस।
about सब कुछ है। तो my question to you is that as a someone who is enlightened, I would say now you are enlightened in my eyes. You are obviously enlightened, and you have given your every bit of service till now to enjoyable and life. हाँ, एक क्वेश्चन मेरा और भी होगा, इसके बाद पूछूंगा। सो माय पॉइंट इज दैट कि आपको क्या लग रहा है कि इंडिया में हम नई सिटीज बनाने की बात करते हैं, वी एक्सटेंड द विलेजेस एंड देन वी गिव द नेम ऑफ ए न्यू टाउनशिप, बट देन इज रियली इंडिया is moving towards a smart urbanization, like we have smart cities program and मतलब क्या बोलते हो आप?
No, no. So the issue is that migration historically आप देखें तो it is a process. People are moving from villages to cities. If we consider everybody who is sitting in this online, most of us wants to move, most of us want to move, or most of us have already moved from our place. ठीक है, मैं भी गांव से आया हूँ, आप भी गांव से आए, सब लोग गांव से आए, now we are moving to city, so we should accept
भारत
that.
गांव का देश।
हाँ, अब वो नहीं रहा है, अब now everybody wants to settle in city for various reasons, for good education, for good health, to get connectivity, जैसे आपने aspiration बोला, mall का, metro का, this is craze towards cities. There are different challenges definitely with cities, but Maharashtra being a urbanized state, I would say 55% of population of Maharashtra is staying in Pune, in cities basically. Okay, and similar thing is happening with other states also, which are growing fast. आप बिहार ले लीजिए, वहां के लोग मूव हो रहे हैं, हरियाणा तो ऑलमोस्ट अर्बनाइज हो गया, पंजाब भी अर्बनाइज है। So urban movement is there because of the pressure, but we are not in good in planning. That is for sure. I don't see, if you go to any foreign city, you see, we are 50 years behind than any other developed country. अभी भी उनके रोड साफ सुथरे हैं। तो प्रॉब्लम क्या है, हमारे यहाँ पे अभी भी पॉलिटिकल मेच्योरिटी नहीं है, जैसे आप बोल रहे हैं, द पॉलिटिकल मेच्योरिटी स्टिल लैकिंग, एंड we have created multiple agencies in a similar city. Now in Pune there is a place called Hinjewadi, which is an IT park, very famous IT park. It is stuck because it comes under PMRD also, it comes under PMC also, it comes under PCMC also, and when there is a joint responsibility, there is no responsibility yet. Okay, so problem with urban planning is that we never do planning in a holistic view. आप नई cities तो छोड़ दीजिए, we are not even handling the early cities also. We are so these institutions are there, and there are a lot of political interference, lot of issues are there. So if you ask me, we are very bad in urban planning. In fact, we are very bad in planning, not in urban planning. We are bad in rural planning also. It is political driven. बस मेरी लाठी है तो मेरे यहाँ से नाली निकलेगी, मेरे यहाँ से रोड निकलेगी, मेरे यहाँ से गटर निकलेगा. It is not decided as per the master plan. How many cities have a master plan? आपने देखा है, मैंने तो नहीं देखा.
There are so many masters are there.
हाँ, so planning तो हमारी है फजाड़ी है, और even I would say this government, which we were expecting a lot, I think this has not still performed on one aspect, which is an urban plan. It is still late.
या तो माय अर्बन प्लानिंग से मुझे क्वेश्चन आया कि भाई आप फिर एज यू सेड दैट भाई आए नरवाना से दिल्ली, दिल्ली से लबासना, लबासना से महाराष्ट्र, तो व्हेन यू व्हेन यू फाइनली जब आप बात करते हैं पोस्ट रिटायरमेंट की, सो वेयर यू विल सेटल डाउन?
आई थिंक इनिशियली व्हेन यू कम फ्रॉम हरियाणा तो यू फील कि यार यहीं पे सेटल होंगे, हमारा घर है. बट फ्रैंकली
हाँ
वंस यू मूव टू अ स्टेट लाइक महाराष्ट्र, you
हाँ
don't want to leave Maharashtra. It's a fantastic city. It's a
ओके
fantastic state for multiple reasons. I'm telling you. First, North is very aggressive. It's very unsafe. Okay, for kids. Delhi, आपको आना है, हरियाणा आना है. Now I don't want to come. Basically, pollution is there. Maharashtra is historically also it's not very mixed up population. It's still keeping its own culture. People are very humble. The best thing about Maharashtra, it's people. आप रात में 1 बजे भी निकल जाएं, 2 बजे भी निकल जाएं, it's not that unsafe. Even for girls, I would say. पुणे में भी आप निकल जाएं, अकेले दिल्ली में नहीं निकल सकते आप, ठीक है. So दूसरा ये है कि once you work in your own state, ना, it absorbs you. Your contacts are here, your family. You grow up with lot of people. You make lot of relations. So and culture atmosphere wise, अगर आप देखेंगे, it's not very extreme. Like South, it's not very hot. Like North, it's not very cold or something like that. But Pune is famous for its weather. So I don't want to leave Pune, frankly, if you ask me. If you want to ask me where do I want to settle in India, I would say it's Pune.
Wow, that is
But it's
very
too
clear.
early to say. But it is
Yeah,
too early to say.
agreed.
Because it is
And what about
22 years are there.
Yes, very true. And what about the central deputation?
Yeah, I'll come for central deputation because I always believe in, I always want to come out of comfort zone. आप यहीं पड़े रहोगे, कुछ नहीं सीखोगे, वो स्टेट वाला कल्चर आ जाता है. I know दिल्ली में आके थोड़ा सा uncomfort होगा, but that will make me professionally competent. You get
I
a
agree with
broader view. स्टेट में क्या है, कोई साहब ने बोल दिया, मंत्री जी ने बोल दिया, ऐसे कर दो तो वैसे कर दो, वैसे कर दो तो वैसे कर दो. इट्स नॉट रूल ड्रिवन. सेंटर इज अ रूल ड्रिवन. सेंटर में ऐसा नहीं है कि आपने रूल लिखा और ऊपर अनलेस अंटिल पीएम इज इन्वॉल्व, nobody will ask you why did you wrote like this law on this file. So I always believe in moving out of comfort zone if you want to grow in your life. Pain will always be there, but you will always be a better person as an officer also or as a person also.
So that is wonderful. No, my point is, what new areas, like if someone asks you that these are my areas of expertise, obviously general administration is obviously there and lot of skills are there, but some areas must be passionate with you, like previously UPSC was asking also in the interview. Now everything has got so much evolved and so much smart it has become, but still I am asking you so that other people can learn and then they can get insights also. If someone asks you 2 3 areas of your passion, that these are the areas which policy making, now you are part of policy making, which actually is the most I should say most sensitive and most important, and highly it is not visible anywhere. After parliament, it is only bureaucracy. It is
Yes.
only your level where comes into picture. You are the one who is going to give that insight. सर ये ऐसे नहीं, इसको ऐसे ऐसे किया जा सकता है. तो ये आपका ये शब्द होंगे आपके, सर ऐसे हो जाता तो, सर ये डेटा है, ये कहता है. So in that context, what are the 2 3 4 whatever areas you say which are close to your heart?
Yes, so I would say first of all that most of aspirants are there. I think they should understand why IAS is being considered as the most powerful job, and why I like the IAS as such, because it is the most diversified job. Okay, आप हर बार कुछ नया कर रहे हो. मैं एसडीएम में कुछ कर रहा था, सीओ में कुछ कर रहा था, वाटर कंजर्वेशन में वहां वाटर सॉइल सीखा, फिर ट्राइबल में ट्राइबल सीखा, अब मैं अर्बन में आया तो मैं अर्बन सीखा. ठीक है.
सही बात.
सो हमारी जॉब क्या है कि you learn a lot in different areas. So first of all, that makes it powerful, because whatever is with everybody, whatever is not with everybody is with us. Okay.
Correct.
आईपीएस पुलिसिंग ही कर रहा है, आईआरएस वाला वो रेवेन्यू ही संभाल रहा है, आपका ट्रेन वाला ट्रेन ही चला रहा है, पोस्टल वाला पोस्टल कर रहा है, आईएएस क्या कर रहा है, सब कुछ कर रहा है बेसिकली ये छोड़कर. So that's why it makes it very diverse. It makes it very enjoying. You never get bored. दूसरा, if you ask me my personal interest, frankly, I associate myself with the infrastructure, with the urban development, with the financial related issues where I enjoy more. I don't associate myself with the social sectors like education, like health, like social welfare, like agriculture. These are not my. I understand agriculture. I'm telling you, I understand agriculture, but I don't enjoy it. So हमारा क्या, आप जिधर डालोगे वहां सीख तो जाओगे, ये तो है ब्यूरोक्रेसी का. So tomorrow if you ask me कि रॉकेट बनाने हैं, इसरो में डाल दोगे तो after 2 years I will tell you how to make a rocket. उसमें टेक्निकल एक्सपर्टीज होगा कि नहीं होगा, but I will tell you the administrative aspect of that thing. But I personally associate myself with the big projects like railway, with airports construction, with shipping, with road, with pull highways, metro. Like I am currently looking for Pune metro. तो लास्ट 2 साल में कैसे मेट्रो बनती है आपको समझ में आता है बेसिकली, यू नो.
अच्छा.
I like urban planning. I like financial angles of things which have a bigger impact. That is my area of liking.
No, urban planning is, I think, one of the most important lifeline. And secondly, when you are speaking about metro, तो दिल्ली में metro मुझे याद है 1999 के बाद 2003 की आवाज आई. And in 2004, where it was in 2004 that I got opportunity as a part of a world leadership program that I went to Japan. And from there even to Singapore. Then there I saw for the first time that भाई दरवाजे बंद हो गए और वो लाइटें जल गई. And then Japan is one of the most industrialized, and as rightly saying that I have seen there कैसे मतलब, लेकिन कैसे लोगों ने किया है basically. बिना लोगों के आप कुछ नहीं कर सकते. Without people support and people's behavioral changes. So metro is definitely one of the biggest examples of civic sense and civic culture also. And it is, I think, a very, very important element also. So have you ever thought about going abroad for study leave or something of that sort?
Yes. I in fact did my GRE and I applied when I was in Aurangabad. So and rather than applying for public policy course, I applied for MBA, Stanford, Harvard, वगैरह का. But during that period, my mother got, my mother passed away. So then I left the plan. Yeah. So I left the plan. Otherwise, I got offer letter from. That was the time when I used to think that I should gain some new skills, but not from public policy because they don't teach anything. They are simply repeating things. If you really want to add, you go for MBA courses there. You make networks. You become globalized. And then you come back and then apply that knowledge back in bureaucracy. But that plan didn't materialize. But now I'm happy also because I don't want to study for that.
Yes, definitely practical aspects are so many practical aspects. Yes. Mansi, you have a few more questions. You please, you can ask and other people also can ask.
Ji, so first question is that like you have served at the State Cooperative Tribal Development Corporation in Nashik also. So what are the challenges that we as students or aspirants we fail to see that we're sitting from the top or we are sitting at a distance from them and you're dealing with them practically? And any other special incident that you would like to share with us related to tribal development or any unique learning from there?
So challenge first of all is that most of us haven't even seen the tribals. Okay, we don't know their life. We are just reading it. I come from Haryana. I never seen any tribal, frankly. So you have perceptions that there will be some people roaming around, naked and wearing something like that. So it is not like that. So first of all, most of our challenge come from the lack of exposure. Whatever area you pick, when you study UPSC, you study so much, but you haven't experienced it actually. Okay, so when you experience it, when you do it, then you come to know what are the real challenges. Okay, the second challenge is our worldview also. We come with a different mindset. मुझे लग रहा है कि अरे ट्राइबल अपने एरिया से बाहर क्यों नहीं निकल रहा है. I don't realize that he is happy in that place. You have to create in situ development also. Got it? Like in Gadchiroli, it was a pure tribal. I am telling you the real PVTGs. They eat red ant chutney. Okay, they served me also red ant chutney.
Yes.
That level of tribals are there. So the problem is that the people who are living in cities, they don't have any connect with these people. So they just think they create an image and then they think that there is a solution for this problem. So the biggest challenge is lack of exposure, I would always say.
Okay. Ashik?
So one more question.
Please.
A CA and also a CFA, and then you're serving as a joint commissioner as MMRD also. So Mumbai also being finance capital. So all these synergies coming to the place. So how did your financial skills, they played an important role in the administrative setup?
See, whatever professional education you do, they are always going to help. Okay, say if you're a civil engineer, so like you're watching the metro. If you're really good at civil engineering, you can see how they are doing it. You can use your knowledge and you can see what are the things which you have studied and how they are doing. And finance, I would say everything is related with finance and administration. You need to bring efficiency in finance. Okay, so you can see, okay, if a project is being done for 100 crore rupees, where are the economies? How can you bring down the cost? In that 100 crore, if 100 kilometer is being created, how can you make sure that more than 100 crore can be done? And financial knowledge is really helpful, frankly, in administration, because most of people doesn't understand finances, and public finances are in poor shape, always in poor shape. Your juniors, your seniors, nobody understand finance. So if you come with a financial knowledge, you can challenge a lot of things. I've done, means you can justify your 100 times salary if you are a good finance person, basically, in your career, in one job, I'm telling you. And
Thank you, sir.
frankly, I have my passion also. I do equity research. I invest in stock market. So that knowledge. So rather than just engrossing in your job, you should keep your separate passion also. So I learn. I constantly learn, and I try to make wealth also, which is a good thing for yourself, creating wealth through a share market. So always pursue your passion, I would say.
Yes.
And one question I have also got from a student. The question says that, sir, today we see the money guzzling and business-oriented coaching industry growing exponentially. Also, the social media as a social media acts as a distraction more of a than learning. Sir, could you please give some pointers to us?
So commercial, I would say coachings are always there. In our time also, there were there. You have to choose whether you want to use them or not. Okay, I had very less time, and I thought that by joining a good coaching center, you improve a lot of information basically. Okay, you come being sitting in a Delhi, you have advantage that you come to know everything first hand information. That is one advantage. Second, I feel with coaching institute you come to know your own standing. Like when I used to give exam in Bajiram, so if you are getting your ranks in top 200, you are sure that you will be clearing your UPSC prelims. But if you are getting your rank constantly beyond 2000, then you have serious issues with your studies. So rather than seeing coaching are always there, coaching will be there. It is your decision how to select them, how to use them, and in what way basically you want to spend. There are online coaching, there are offline coaching. If you need help of a mentor, you should take it, I would say. If it is speeding up your process, there is no harm in coaching.
Agreed, agreed.
Blaming coaching for everything, saying that it's a person,
Not
how
so.
is it using? In
Agreed.
300-350 batch, I think after prelims, there are hardly 5 or 7 students remain who actually have cleared the prelims. And I'm telling you, most of the students who were sitting with me, most of were non-serious. So rather than blaming on coaching, I think you should introspect. And social media definitely is a it's a biggest distraction for everybody. Everybody you see in a mall, you see on a restaurant, everybody sitting on mobile watching reels, and so for a student, I think it has become a little difficult. And but it's a penance, तपस्या है. आपने करना है तो आपको सिंगल हैंडेडली सिंगल माइंडली करना पड़ेगा.
करना पड़ेगा.
उसमें कोई इफ एंड बट नहीं है. वो आपके वाइसेस हैं. हाउ डू यू हैंडल योर वाइसेस? It's up to you basically.
Ashik?
Good afternoon, sir. It was really insightful about the administration, what you have said. I have just one question to ask regarding the work-life balance. If it is really work-life balance or it is work, 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 then certain kind of a thing, then balance would be. For example,
No. I think in bureaucracy, work-life balance is not a big issue, except in some positions. Like, see, bureaucracy, you don't stay at one place, you move. So sometime there will be huge workload, like in district collector. I used to wait for oxygen cylinder during COVID at 1 o'clock. I used to make sure कि वो आया कि नहीं आया. उसके बाद I used to sleep. So there were the cases. And there are posts where you have comfortable lifestyle also. 9 to 6 भी है, 9 to 5 भी है, as per your own comfort भी है. So in private sector, I think work-life balance is an issue, not in bureaucracy, not at all. There are work you have to do, but you get enough freedom also. You are your own boss.
sir, adding to that, sir, I have a question regarding, sir, you talked about health issue which you were facing, and after that you just transformed yourself. So I was stating what kind of a pressure that lead to certain kind of a health issue, or even it it was a work life,
Public
or
public
even
pressure, yes, work life pressure. There's a lot of. I was in CO Jilla Parishad. So CO Jilla Parishad, almost the staff is 15,000 of under a CO. Education comes under COs, health comes
Health.
under. So and Maharashtra में क्या है कि political bodies are very active. Like CO Jilla Parishad concept is basically from Maharashtra, the 3-tier structure. So it was later adopted into that constitutional amendment of 93rd and 94th constitutional amendment. So political pressure is there, huge pressure. So everything, when you feel whatever, if I have taken a right decision with right intent, but that is not acceptable to the public representative. I want to make transfer. Transfer is one area where there is always pressure on you, because people have loyalty to the political people. They want to come to the places where they want to be posted. So if you are doing by law, if you are doing in a transparent manner, then you are hurting their financial interest. So that while you are doing, but it is creating pressure for you, because media may write something. Like I did a very transparent recruitment during my CO Jilla Parishad. The Deshanati newspaper simply put up a headline without any verification, without any evidence that there is some issue with the recruitment drive. Then I gave a letter to the police inspector that you please verify independently, and you summon the newspaper guy also. So that kind of thing sometimes creates this health issues.
thank you, sir.
सर आपका म्यूट है आपका.
Karuna, you want to ask any question if it is remaining, or you are all questions, some questions also were there?
Yes,
If it
I
is not
had one more
remaining,
question.
one please.
So, according to you, what is the most interesting and then what is the most boring thing that you get to
मतलब
do as an administrator?
I think boring to routine job is boring if you're doing a routine job. And if you're doing diverse तो आप कभी बोर नहीं होते. मैं वही बोल रहा हूँ, IAS में generally you don't get bored unless until you're doing very very typical type of routine job, basically जहाँ से फाइलें sign कर रहे हो. But in every job which I have done, there is a field aspect. So आपको मुझे मेट्रो देखने जाना है तो I go to metro. किसी सिटी में विजिट करना है तो आप वहाँ विजिट कर सकते हो. For there are so many trainings. So I don't think so there is called anything boring. Because you get to change your role very frequently. Very, very rarely you get very boring job.
Okay, I
Thank
have
you,
one
sir.
more question, Deepak.
Yes,
Suppose you are speaking about recruitment drive. That was obviously a merit-based drive. But if you are looking for people to hire, you look for 3 qualities: integrity, intelligence, and energy.
नहीं, आज के टाइम क्या है ना, क्लास 3 क्लास 4 के लिए तो इंटरव्यू वगैरह कुछ रहा नहीं है. बेसिकली you have to take out a paper just like any prelims paper, set in a good way so that you can identify. So उसमें आप कुछ चेक नहीं कर सकते हैं कि इंटरव्यू तो है नहीं, इंटीग्रिटी वगैरह तो सीड. Only thing you can check whether the person is capable or not. Nothing else.
But then we all agree with the fact that integrity is very, very important. Integrity with knowledge can only help to move the country forward.
But there's no correlation. Frankly, मतलब the people who come to UPSC exam, they come without paying anything. I think they come with the most hard work. सबसे ज्यादा पैसे bureaucrats के पैसे निकलते हैं. What is the correlation? There's no correlation. I think that depends person to person, frankly.
I agree.
There are very honest. Yeah, there are very honest bureaucrats also. They are not taking even single rupee, living very simple life, and they are there who are constantly in deep, like rotten way. Basically, they are taking money for everything.
I agree. It means it depends, but then as we just spoken about the right things, that what society demands and the pain and the gain which you get, the kind of satisfaction that you get. अगर हम गीता की बात भी करें, हम कल्चर की बात भी करें, सारे कल्चर, सारी सोसाइटी, हमारे जो पेरेंटल वैल्यूज हैं, हमारा जो सिस्टम है, वो हमें यही सिखाता है that life is about going on forward. Life is about taking good and bad in stride. Try to do your best. Whatever you have chosen, do justice with that, and do not look for shortcuts. That's all I would say. No, it is
उतना ही
wonderful.
है, मतलब आप मिडल पाथ लेके चलो, मुझे लगता है not be extreme on any side. क्योंकि too much wealth also bring too many ills, or lack of
Yes.
wealth also creates other issues. So I always believe in बुद्धा path कि आप middle path लेके चलें, जहाँ ना आपको बहुत ज्यादा किसी चीज की चाह हो और ना किसी चीज को छोड़ रहे हैं.
बिल्कुल एक बीच का रास्ता. So
हाँ.
wonderful, great. I think very fruitful, very spontaneous, and very refreshing ideas, and that too also, without any kind of, as we just got connected, and thanks to you that you got some time, and you agreed with that. They many thousands of students are so excited. They would be willing to hear you. So any parting words or any kind of advice would you say, or any kind of thing you would say? I would say to
I
you.
would only say that definitely one should strive to get into civil services, but that is not the end dream. That should not be the end dream. I've seen people are in pain even after joining services, and they are happy outside also. So sometimes the students get too much attached with this idea. If I would have become an IAS only, then I would have enjoyed. Definitely, it has lot of perks, but it has its other side also. मतलब pain भी है उसमें, ऐसा नहीं है. It's not everybody goes through a different lifestyle. So even if you are good in private sector and if you're enjoying there, so you should be happy. Leave that if part. नहीं किया नहीं बने. मतलब सबके में ये राजयोग नहीं होगा, और उसके अलग इश्यूज भी हैं.
और हम तो भारत के डेवलप होने की बात करते हैं. राजयोग अब जो
हम्म.
हम अगर क्लासिकल सेंस में कहें तो राजयोग पहले तो टिल द टाइम इकोनॉमी वाज ओपनिंग अप, तो राजयोग सेलेक्टिवली हम कह सकते थे पॉलिटिकल एंड ब्यूरोक्रेटिक क्लास के पास था. लेकिन आज के समय
नहीं,
में
तो
यदि हम
बिजनेस क्लास के
कहेंगे,
पास है. अब बिजनेस क्लास के पास है. इफ यू हैव अ गुड स्टार्टअप, इफ यू कैन अर्न मेक मनी, गुड मनी थ्रू योर हार्ड वर्क, थ्रू योर स्किल्स, आई थिंक उससे ज्यादा मजा नहीं है. यू गेट फाइनेंशियल फ्रीडम. यहाँ पे फ्रीडम नहीं है, लॉट ऑफ रिस्ट्रिक्शंस आर देयर.
वंडरफुल,
So
ग्रेट.
that's all. Yes. Thank
नो,
you. I
वंडरफुल,
think
ग्रेट.
so. Thank you, Vikas ji.
थैंक
I
यू
think for
दीपक.
inviting me. हाँ जी.
नो नो,
और
श्योर.
सभी सभी
क्योंकि
यंग बच्चों से बात करने का मौका मिला. आई थिंक आफ्टर लॉन्ग टाइम आई एम टॉकिंग like that. आफ्टर दी
नहीं
एक
नहीं,
बार
we
आप.
have couple of them are over here, those whose
हम्म.
relatives are also into services, like
हम्म.
into Indian police service. I
Okay.
have couple of students, those also, so I wanted them to also hear the other side.
Right.
Ki bhai, do
Right.
not take for granted, because
Yes.
things do work in a way they are required.
Yes.
So it is definitely a charming and a wonderful thing, and we'll be in touch, and
Yes.
keep it updated. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.